Well, happy Saturday, everyone. It's Melody from Bake a Leg and Let's Dig It. I usually put a video out every Friday. I think I missed last Friday because it was like crazy, hectic, busy. I wanted to get a little bit of an early morning video just so we didn't have to listen to central air units, but it's only like 75 here in Pennsylvania today, but people are still running their air conditioning units. So, today, garden tour week 7. There are a lot of changes and a lot of new things, so let's get started with this beauty. Isn't it gorgeous? It is like flower haven at my place right now. There's so many zinnias popping up, and this is my beautiful purple sunflower. It does have a name. I will look it up and leave it in the description below. And we're going to have quite a few. The reason why I'm starting right with the sunflowers is because they're everywhere. And there was a little debate that I had with a friend of mine that said you can't transplant sunflowers. And I want to take a minute to start off with the sunflowers because of that topic. There's another big one, the head starting to droop over. These right here. Let's start with these. Look at this. How gorgeous. I hope you can see that and the light's not too bright. Yes, it is sunny here. It's very nice. Okay. Can you transplant a sunflower? Well, obviously you can, because I transplanted this one way back when. It was just in a really bad spot, so I moved it and it did good. And I also transplanted this one that's now opened and facing my deck. I transplanted this little mama right here and did pretty good as well. And this one here with the thick trunk also was a transplant. So let me say, back to the question of can you transplant? Obviously, I did about 4 or 5 of them, and they did really great. So a little experiment today. Let me show you. Looks like it's dying, right? Looks terrible. Sunflower. Another sunflower. I did just water them. Well, I just planted them, and I just gave them some water. I say 1 to 3 days. And these little bad guys, which I planted the baby as well, should do, sorry about the shadow, should do just fine. But I did that specifically so we could do a sunflower transplant together so you could see for yourself if it really does work. Even though I'm telling you I've transplanted things and they've worked. So back onto the sunflowers. Another big sunflower that's opened right here. I have so many sunflowers this year. It's just amazing. The big sunflower over there, that's the news, I guess, of the day. It's down. It got cut down, and I will show you the head, which I have. It did rain, so I just put it in the sun so it'll dry out. Here is the head, guys. For that one that had to be tied up by the cable wire that was over there. Enormous. It's big. There's a lot of seeds in there. And yeah. It's almost bigger than my head. So anyhow, I have that in the sun drying. Here is a smaller one. Hopefully you can see that. So I wanted to put them in the sun and dry them out today. So I know we started off on the sunflowers, but that's the beginning, which is basically, can you transplant sunflowers? So I just wanted to show you that very quickly, that these were all transplants. Even this one over here was a transplant. I only had one that didn't work. There used to be one over here. That one didn't take. I think there was just too many bugs. So this is why I wanted to pull up a couple and let you know that I just transplanted them. They look like they're dead. But it should be fine. I just gave it some water. You just build the soil up around it if they're leaning so that they can grow a little straight, which is gross because that's wet and my fingers are in it, but that's okay. A little Dawn dish soap. So yeah, I will show you on the next garden tour how they look. Even if they do end up dying, I'll show you. So let's start over here. This is the cabbage patch. It's supposed to be cabbage patch. Nope. Oh my gosh. Really? I just completely screwed that up. This is the cantaloupe patch, which I don't know if somebody mixed seeds in here or what, but I've gotten a baby watermelon out of here. I've gotten a couple cantaloupes because it is supposed to be a cantaloupe patch. And that doesn't look like a cantaloupe to me. This looks like a honeydew. Another fruit that I don't like. I don't like honeydew and I don't like cantaloupe. Maybe we'll pick that one because it's pretty big right there. There is another one right there. There's a baby on this trellis, but not sure if it's going to last because the trellis kept falling over until my friend just fastened it. But you can see the leaves are changing colors. They have a baby sunflower over there. And what I think I'm going to do for fall is plant a bunch of sunflower seeds so I get to look at them for the whole fall. So, some discoloration of the leaves. I'm not sure. Again, this needs to be weeded so bad. Figured it was a zucchini. Haven't gotten anything off of it. Oh, there is a baby zucchini. So I may pull off the dead leaves, clean that up a little bit today, but I also just spotted a good cabbage bug. Let's see if there's any on the under leaves. This is the time of year where things start to die off, and like I said in the last video, it's just part of the circle of life. I'm not kind of ready for that. I really have enjoyed my garden this year. I think I outdid myself, but I'll just give myself a little pat on the back. So what are you thinking? Does that look like a honeydew to you guys? Because it sure does to me, so I may have to end up picking that. Okay, so zucchini that's not looking all that great, and I've planted some fall seeds. Sunflower, doing amazing. This is the butterfly hummingbird bush. I've seen one hummingbird. Usually I'll see 20, but I really didn't have the proper feeders up this year for them. But I've been seeing a ton of butterflies, a ton of praying mantises. A friend of mine said it seems like my organic garden has all the right proper things to attract the proper bugs. So, no chemicals in this garden. Okay. Oh, we have another sunflower growing up next to the tomato that was struck by lightning. It's still alive. Okay, the zinnia patch took a tiny bit of a beating. We have a little bit of yellow leaves. I don't understand what's going on with that. It does look like we have some ants on here. I wasn't sure if that occurred when my friend sawed off the big sunflower. But they're still producing flowers. A lot of purple this year, even though this is my first year. Purple is like a big thing to me, and yeah, we have a lot of beautiful purples, different shades of pink. Speaking of bugs, sucking away on some pollen. Okay, I'm really not going to try to make this video too long. Let's see. Let's squeeze into the zinnia patch. The cucumbers. See if I can get in here without mangling the zinnias, because there's so many of them. Once that sunflower was there, started to get a lot of bees. We are getting some cucumbers, which I should have grabbed my scissors. There's another baby one. I have to really go through this and see. There's another one, two down there, and a little baby one. So we may have to pick some cucumbers, which is getting a little wild. But yeah, the corn, I'm letting it stay like that just to die off so I can tie it up and use that for fall. I think I stated that last week, so that's why that's still in there, even though it probably could be a space that could be used. Just gonna let it go for a little bit. So yeah, look at the size of this cucumber, guys. She is a big arms. But I love cucumber salad, so that's okay. And peppers. I did harvest some of the peppers. Sorry, I'm trying to hold the camera. So some banana peppers. Peppers are doing pretty good. Some leaves are falling off, not many. And we have a green bell pepper right there. But I'll let it go. There's yellow leaf down there. I did harvest some of the peppers, so I'm going to try to give this some nutrients. I saw it on the Stiver Homestead, not to be too concerned, but my pepper bed across the street in the community garden, it's a lot of falling pepper leaves. So this is green. The leaves are like stoned away, you can barely see. Green bell peppers doing fine. A little bit of yellowing. Long hots are coming in finally. There's lots of buds. I did get a couple. I'm hoping to get a whole lot more of those. So I'm gonna let my pepper plants continue to just do their thing. Hopefully they enjoy the weather since it's getting cooler. And we have some peppers back there, which look like, let's see, can you see that? Wait, I'm trying to get you a good shot. Banana peppers. There's some more peppers over there. We have some jalapenos. All the pepper plants are doing pretty good. Just a little bit of yellowing on the leaves, and I'll pick them off. This has been in my strawberry bucket for quite some time, and it just isn't doing anything. I may try to take this out and transplant it. I don't think that it is zucchini, and it has a squash bug. I'm thinking it's a cucumber. Plants I may transplant that are just, I did put in 2 extra seeds, and I did all my fall seeds, which I will do a video on that. Jalapenos are back there. Eggplants all have buds on them. This basil, I really lost my window with my basil. In my pots that are on my deck, they just look terrible. I've been trying to pick these off so that hopefully I can salvage some of this, even if I have to dry it. So pull these off, and maybe we'll get a little bit more basil. I'm going to dry these for the seeds. Not really sure how to do it, but that is ready. The wrinkle basil. Love it. So yeah, pick some of that off. Tomatoes, seeing some changing. I'm just kind of letting the tomatoes do their thing. There is quite a bit to pick again in there. There's some Romas down there and a bigger one over there. and down on the ground. But I will get in there and pick them out. And more of the cherries. There are some leaves that look like this, which is some blight. I have been using scissors, or if they're easy enough, I just come in and I try to pick them off the best I can. I am hoping these are planted in spring. All these tomatoes here are planted in spring. So it's not uncommon to see your tomatoes starting to look like that. But I've just been trying to stay up on top of some of the dead leaves. So yeah, we have some tomatoes to pick. Sunflower, zinnias, more zinnias, more zinnias. This is that little peach tomato. This is my little trash bucket. I don't want to put down a compost pile, especially if it has blight or anything on it. But even though, I mean, it was doing pretty good, it's still hanging in there. But these are the tiny peach tomatoes. I did pick some off already, but still alive. Woke up to this today. They're everywhere. And like I said, more tomatoes in there. Not sure if you remember the group of tomatoes that always grow here. I did just pick them. But it's hard to see all the way through, but there's a ton of tomato plants. Lots to still pick. This marigold is not looking too good. So maybe I'll transplant one in there just for fall. And we have this bigums, which the head just started to drop on that one, which is right there. And we have a yellow jacket up there. So that means the bugs have been really good. Kale, I think I'm going to cut all of this back and do something with it. It's getting chewed alive. I did plant some kale seeds. They probably won't get like this. I don't know if I'll take the whole thing down or just take the outer leaves off and see what happens. This is that mystery plant that is, I'm pretty sure, that red cabbage. It's getting chewed as well. This was some baby kale that I planted as well, and the bugs got to it, so the bugs are terrible. Let's see. More zinnias. How beautiful is that, guys? Purple. They're just gorge. And there is my friend. He is back again. He was on the sunflower plant this morning. And yeah, I've been quite blessed to have a lot of praying mantises in my garden. So I feel like sticking him in the kale. Maybe he'll eat the bad bugs. But right now, he's on the eggplant. Which, let me get down in here. We got two. This coloring is not looking too good, but it's not, but it's not soft or anything. And then we have the black beauties that are coming in. That's a big one. It's doing good. We have another one over there that I may pick. Still have some small eggplants, but I'm just going to leave them go because they have some blooms on them. That obviously doesn't. That died. I'm going to end up pulling that out. Probably that one back there. Because the eggplant has not been really successful this year. I usually get a ton. And I don't know if it was from all the rain, but we have finally some eggplant. Okay. Should have brought my bucket closer for trash. Green beans. I might pull these up and plant another concession because I did just plant these not that long ago. Well, these anyway. And I think these may need to be trellised, but I'm not really happy with the way they look. So I may just plant some more and get them in the ground and going. Marigold over here bounced back. That's doing good. We have more zinnias over here. And where did my little friend go? Oh, there he is. And has anyone ever seen a praying mantis that's like a reddish brown like that? I don't know if it's male, female, no idea. But I get a ton in my garden. More zinnias, basil. This, I really haven't been doing much to it whatsoever. And there's still some basil on there. Okay, I have to think, because guess what I did? I didn't tag them. I don't remember what the first 2 rows are. This, I do know, is radishes. So that's just that little area. Still have this whole other area to plant things. The zinnias are crazy. Another sunflower with a head dropping. So yeah, I'd like to put some more sunflower seeds out so that we can have them for fall. This is the zinnia patch that's going nuts.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello. Great, thank you.
Just a couple kids going by, at least they're respectful. And the sunflower here, which I'm not sure if it's going to be yellow or purple. But this particular one, which I will, like I said, put the name in the description below. It's my favorite. I did the Ring of Fires. I've already picked them. And I just might plant a whole bunch more. But we have more coming up. We'll see. Some of the heads last longer, some don't. Okay, look at this mess. The cabbage patch, so chewed up. I'm having such a hard time getting ahead. I got one head. Now I have this little baby. And I think I'm just gonna, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it out with you. That's had a lot of fresh compost on it. I kept asking, should I rip these out? Look at the size of the head. It's super uber tiny. These, I don't know whether they'll let them go. This one doesn't look as bad. This one's looking like it's recovering. This is enormous and it's so chewed up. I was wondering if I should pull everything out of there and use it for another spot, maybe spinach or something. Not real sure, but second little cabbage. So let's just put that. This is everything that I harvested before I started this video. Sorry guys. And I still have way more to go. So let's continue. Cabbage patch, not doing too good, completely unsure. Some of my zinnias over here are turning yellow. If you also see this burnt mark, landscapers were going around spraying things, and finally I said do not spray anything near my garden because I'm not sure if it's coming from that or something else. Another big sunflower there, rosemary. Some garlic is in between over here at the cabbages, but it was just for a deterrent. This basil is still holding up, and it's probably because I have been coming out here and doing this and getting these off. I just made some pesto the other night, and my basil that I was bragging about in the pot. I didn't really get to them in time. I don't know if I can salvage them and have them for fall. Not really sure. But yeah, I've just been coming out and picking as much of these off as possible, and I have noticed some of the leaves are coming back green. Look at the size of that. It's bigger than my hand. So this is this side, which has been a project. I'll explain why. We have some more peach tomatoes that need to be picked. These are there's so many. The green zebra tomatoes. This one has a little deformity on it right there. Nothing major, I'll just cut it off. But there's lots of tomatoes over here. Now these went in later in the season, which is what I was gonna tell you. So I was wondering if I did stalk some of them up because they literally toppled over. I'm wondering if maybe I can get by with keeping these tomato plants in since they were planted so late, and maybe this will be my batch for fall. But we'll see. We'll see how they go. So the zebras, there's more in there. I was tying these up the other day because I have some enormous ones in here. This one here can probably come out now that I see it. Oh, should have got my scissors. And there's plenty under here if you can see this. They're huge. So this is like a big hot mess. But I have it at least up off the grounds. This was an experiment to plant a lot together and see how they go. And they're huge. So I think this will be my little section of tomatoes for fall. And I won't have to do any tomatoes for fall. So that was the idea. Even if these don't hold up and I can pick these out, we'll still have all these for fall. And these are the cabbage moths. I'm always shushing them away. Okay, so that was that section. The cabbages, which look terrible. And basil, more zinnias that have some yellowing. We have it open. I wonder if I could bend this down because I think this has got some red. Can you see that? Because I can't. It's taller than me. So that is this section. And yeah. This is the zinnia section, the sunflowers. And all I did was plant some radishes. And I think maybe spinach. Not 100% positive. So I have to organize this a little bit better because it's getting cray-cray. And plant some more string beans. I did do the 72 cell count. Well, hello, little friend. And the eggplants, but do you hear that? It's my dog. She's punished. She's in the crate. She ran out the front door after the neighbor's dog. And look at, very odd spot for two zinnias. So I'm telling you, I really think the rain got to it. I'm gonna try to see if I can fasten it up some way, but I've already lost one flower. It's in a bad spot. It's in a walkway. And I'm gonna cut back some of this kale today. So yeah, so more bush beans down here is what I was figuring I was gonna do. So that is pretty much this out here. I'll give you a quick run by again. A gazillion tomatoes and the sunflowers. And don't forget, we did transplants, survived, transplanted 3 more over there, just to show you if it actually works or not. Yeah, more zinnias, cucumbers I have to pick, and I'm leaving the corn so I can tie it up for fall. And this little beauty popped up today. I'm in love with them. Best flower ever. Peppers seem to be doing good. A little bit of yellowing on the bottom, but other than that, a little bit of blight going on as far as the tomatoes are concerned. These are all the baskets from the outside of the deck. Just to give you an idea of what I've picked today so far. Every time I get, I mean, I'm not being ungrateful, but every time I get produce done, I have more to deal with, and I have all those seeds to deal with. Excuse me, and I still have to pick more produce. Over here, the tomatoes. So yeah, that is the grand tour, week 7 of the Outback. It almost looks like it's chocolate. And now I will show you my messy deck. Show you the good, the bad, the ugly. This happens to be one of the good. And this is just getting chewed alive. Bad spot, lost a flower there already. This is a hot mess. Plucked basil from across the street, forgot about it, completely died off. Zinnias, marigolds still doing good. Oregano, my hammock. Okay, let's talk Tabasco peppers. Do you see what's happening? They finally have some buds going on. Soil looks a little dry, even though it was watered from the rain. A few tomatoes on here, the pear-shaped. Herbs. I have been dehydrating some herbs. This is my glorious basil that's starting to turn yellow. So I'm going to try to doctor that up a little bit today. See what happens. Got to think. Pineapple sage, still there. Didn't do anything with it. That basil I'm not going to harvest because I'm getting enormous bumblebees from that. So we're just going to leave it alone. This is a lemon balm. Didn't harvest any of that at all yet. The mint is actually doing runners. And every time I see them, I try to put them back into the bucket. Planter. My dog's freaking out. You're punished. She got out the door. Bush beans. I planted more bush beans in this pot here. I just moved in a different direction. See how terrible the basil looks. Unreal. So, I don't know. See if I can salvage it and bring it back. But the Tabasco peppers are just now starting to get some buds. This is the other Tabasco, and little babies, got little babies. Some of the herbs are completely really dry, and it's time to start harvesting some herbs. This is what I mean. I usually just spend so much time going around and taking off the dead on the tomato plant. I also have an extra tomato plant or two in here, so that might be a bonus, so that I can stretch out the season as far as tomatoes are concerned. Oh, this one doesn't want to come off. Mint's doing fine. Let me go back over here so I can show you, and shut the door so you don't have to listen to the dog crying. Oregano, parsley, a little bit of yellowing, not too bad though. Just gonna pick it off, and it should love this cooler weather. So, and then this is the dwarf basil. Then I'm gonna pick. Sage is doing fine. Thyme is good. The other oregano is good. Got to start harvesting some chives. There's our beautiful sunflower. That was just that random box of herbs, and it just attracts bees and all kinds of stuff. So I just kind of leave it. And yeah. So all this is doing well. And the pepper plant, it has peppers on it. This is, but we have a little brown spot, we shall say. But this is that big pepper plant that was in the box where I only got 3 or 4. There's quite a few buds on here. So I might give it a little food. I know, it looks extremely dry. You wouldn't even believe that it rains. Rainwater. I always put my buckets out. Just gave that some water. So yeah, some things are dying off. Some things are doing okay. I have that mess to clean up over there. Empty box because the beets did not turn out. The Swiss chard is doing good. I think I'm going to cut this back. I'm not sure though if you cut Swiss chard, does it just grow back? But anyway, we'll try. Some lettuce that went to seed. I'm going to give that to my bunnies. Here's an issue. I showed this on the last video. I planted some baby lettuces in here. They were all doing fine. And now they are completely chewed. So something is just demolishing the kale and the lettuce. The part shade Delilah looked burnt the last time. It's starting to come back. Tomatoes are doing okay, but there is a bite mark in there. So something is going on. I haven't really been using even my homemade stuff. Like I said, kind of slacked it a little bit. I mean, overall, everything looks pretty good. But like I said, it rained all day yesterday here, so I have to do the norm, which is pick off all the marigolds so I can save them all. So yeah, that transplanted basil's doing good. That one's fine. That one's good over there. That is good. So yeah, guys, I think I showed you everything. It's not looking at its best, but it happens, doesn't it? I mean, some of it looks beautiful, especially if you're sitting here. This is all that you see are the sunflowers, blue skies. So today I have some cleaning up to do. I did go across the street, started to weed my carrot bed, and then just didn't want to do anymore. And I don't know if I should take one of these out of the pot and try to plant it in the ground in a spot and see what happens. But yeah, so that's where we're at. This is garden week 7, and I will do a video, which I know I promised the last time I would do a video and show you the fall seeds that I planted. But if I had to tell you just very quickly, I did cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, radishes, red beets, 5 different types of lettuces, some butternut squash. I did a couple more zucchinis, a couple more cucumbers, didn't have any arugula, more kale, and I think that might be it. But I may show you the seeds that I've done. There's the other parsley. Spider plant's doing great. Mint is doing well. So it basically just needs some cleaning up around here, actually, and some pruning of things, and get rid of this that went to waste. And I have like just things everywhere. So yeah, I think I covered everything, guys, for garden tour week 7. And I will get this all cleaned up. I would like to plant, like I said, some more sunflowers for fall. I have that to fix. Figure out a situation with the kale, and figure out a situation. I wonder if it's still sitting there, that praying mantis. And it is. I think I'm really going to stick it in the kale, where the cabbage is. I don't know. I'm undecisive. I'm wondering if I leave it. Like, this one looks not too bad. This one here looks pretty good, but still don't know, guys, if I'm going to rip that out just to have the space. Not really sure. But that is the overall. It is bright. Now it's getting hot. It's probably like 80 now. So this is everything. And don't forget, these were the sunflower transplants. And keep track today. Oh, I'm distracted easy when it comes to zinnias. Today is Saturday, so these went in, and maybe tuck them down just a little bit further, give them a little bit more water, but I think they should be fine. So that's going to be our experiment. Can you transplant sunflowers? So I hope you get a good overall view that it's crazy, hectic, busy now. Everyone is this time of year. So much produce, trying to can. I don't have a pot big enough really to can, so I'm doing the best that I can. And yeah, busy time of year. Now it's time to clean up. When you take some days off, then you have to deal with a little bit of mess and